started out very subtly, my rear wheel bearing on my Cadillac CTS, like it is now almost, and we'll get to that just in a second here when we get kind of on a quieter part of the street. I'll let you guys listen in. But what happened was I was driving on the freeway, going about 65 miles an hour, and I heard a very subtle roar in the rear wheel. This was my Cadillac CTS. I'm experiencing that now in my front driver's wheel of my BMW 7 Series E65. So what happened with my Cadillac CTS, it very subtly grew louder and louder, where it got to the point where people were mentioning, "Hey, Chris, do you have exhaust on your Cadillac?" And I would just tell them yes, because it was so embarrassing. I was like, what the heck? And it literally sounded like exhaust. When I would gun it and the wheel would spin faster and faster, it would go, whoa, and it got really, really loud and obnoxious, to the point where it got a little too loud. And once I fixed it, it was silent, dead silent, guys. So again, that was a rear wheel bearing. Now, it depends upon the side. I'm not an expert, but as you take right-hand turns, left-hand turns, you'll feel the pressure leaning on that wheel more than the other, and that's how you can tell which side it is. I actually just bought 2 rear bearings, wheel bearings for my Cadillac, and I tried the first one first, and it fixed it, and you could always sell the second one. Or if you fix one, you can fix them both. It's up to you if you want to save a little bit of cash. Now, with my car right now, let's listen in here. I'm about 55 miles per hour. Right there. You guys hear that? Right there. That whom. It's the loudest between 45 and 50 miles an hour. Right there. Where it almost is, it's sounding like I'm downshifting and I have exhaust. Same exact thing, guys. It's very strange. So, okay, right here. Hopefully you guys can pick that up on camera. If you can't, I'm so sorry. There's just really no way to film it, because if I point my camera out the window, the wind will take over instead of listening to the wheel bearing. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, the first thing I'm gonna do, the cheapest way to go, is I'm gonna see if that is actually my tire, not my wheel bearing. So I'm gonna rotate my tires to see if the sound goes across to the passenger side. And if that does, then it is your tire. And you probably need to replace your tire. Maybe it's wear on the tire, maybe it's a nail sitting in the tire, who knows? But most likely, guys, after my experience with my Cadillac CTS, I personally believe it is the front driver's side wheel bearing. So again, if you're experiencing a very kind of a voluptuous sound in your wheels and you think it's, you know, tire noise, you think it's cement, you know, well, it could be your wheel bearing, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and diagnose the problem a little bit further. Again, rotate my front tire, see if that helps. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and look into replacing my wheel bearing. And of course, if I do that, I'll have a full video on it, just like I always do for my other videos. All right, guys, I'll keep you notified on what the deal is. All right, so I figured out what exactly it was, and let me break that down real quickly here. Sorry, it's raining here, but we're in the car and we're nice and warm. So what happened was, every symptom, every sign said out loud, without a doubt, wheel bearing. Now, in this case, it's considered like a wheel bearing hub, and I actually have replaced both sides, and I actually have that video already up on the channel. I'll link it in the description box below, and then also at the very end of the video, there'll be like a checkbox, and you just press that, and you can actually watch the video. Anyway, I first did that wheel bearing side on the BMW E65 E66, and it didn't go away. I actually then switched it because, you know, the same wheel bearing can be set on this side, so I redid the whole thing on that side. Wasn't it? I was like, what in the world? There's no way it's tires. And I also rotated the tires as well. Same noise, right? Get this. You're never going to believe this. Because the E65 E66 wears out the back tires so fast, I was replacing the back tires and the same ones I had for like over a year up front, but I replaced the back ones like 3 times in that amount of time. Get this, are you ready for this? It was bad rubber. It was bad front tires. I replaced the front tires on my BMW, and that noise, which was everyone would have said, it's a wheel bearing, it's a wheel bearing. That noise went away after I replaced the front tires. So again, if it sounds like a wheel bearing, try to do something. If your tires aren't staggered and they're the same size, flip them around, try to rotate them X, Y's or whatever, and see what happens first before you get into the wheel bearing, because that obviously is a lot harder to replace than obviously just going to a quick shop for a half an hour, then throwing on some new tires. Anyway, so in my case, guys, it was tires, but it might be a wheel bearing for you. But anyway, that's what happened, letting you know. And if you guys have experienced this, please comment down below. And make sure you come on over and say hello to me and stop by DIYsavecash E66.com. And subscribe if you haven't. And I'll also link down in the description box below wheel bearings. So if you guys know it's a wheel bearing as well and you want to purchase that, I'll leave a couple links in the description box where you can pick that up, just like on all my videos. I like to leave links so you guys can pick up the products I use. All right, guys. Take care. You guys have a wonderful night.
Cause you gave